Is it just me, or did this weekend feel like deja vu?
It did feel a little bit of that because we saw one repeat and one three-peat champion in this weekend's boys basketball state championship.
This week on Road to the Ship, presented by Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union, we're recapping the Hide and Cook HHSAA boys basketball state tournaments.
Before we jump into the action, we want to take this time to say mahalo to our sponsors, Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union, IBEW Local 1186, Hawaii Pacific Health, and Young Brothers. Mahalo for supporting our humble show.
Arguably the most thrilling game of the semifinal round among both the D1 and D2 levels, the Seabury Spartans edge out the UH Lab Junior Bulls 53-52 to reach the state championship game for the first time since 2016. This game brought out the best from both sides. The Junior Bulls' Todd McKinney and Alika Ahu scored season highs. McKinney was electric, scoring 22 points, including 3 three-pointers, and Ahu added 21 points and also scored 3 three-pointers. On the other hand, Spartans' Bromo Dorn led his team with 21 points and scored the go-ahead basket with 30 seconds left in the game. The lead changed 5 times in just the fourth quarter alone before the final buzzer sounded with Seabury on top.
In the second Division II semifinal of the night, BIIF Division II champion Kohala looked to make it back to the state championship game for consecutive years, facing off with a surging Kaimuki team led by the dynamic duo of Dason Lupica and Jeremiah White. Throughout the ballgame, Lupica and White kept Kaimuki in striking distance, with the two combining for 24 points. But brothers Layden and Landon Kauka were too much for Kaimuki, with Layden leading the way with 24 points and Landon following suit with 12 of his own, as the Kohala Cowboys sneaked past Kaimuki 50-45, next to defend their state title against Seabury.
The Division II championship was all set between the reigning state champ, Kohala, and MIL champ, Seabury Hall. The two teams faced off earlier this year, with Kohala getting a 65-58 victory over Seabury in early December. Both teams came into this state title game winners of 19 straight games. The rematch was an electric back-and-forth battle. Kohala jumped out early behind the performance of star guard Bromo Dorn, who poured in 18 points on the night, as Seabury Hall led by 5 at the break. But Kohala battled back in the second half as sophomore guard Layden Kauka was his usual dominant self, leading the way with 24 points for Kohala to keep them in the game. In the fourth quarter, Kohala and Seabury traded leads, but it was Seabury Hall up 3 with seconds to go until Layden Kauka went up for a game-tying 3 and was fouled on the play. He'd go on to make all 3 clutch free throws to force the game into overtime. In the overtime period, it was all Kohala as their defense was stifling, holding Seabury scoreless and ultimately winning the thriller 49-45 to give them back-to-back state champs and their third title in program history. Now let's pass it on to Kailee for a post-game interview.
The Cowboys' Layden Kauka averaged over 26 points in this state tournament and scored 24 points this championship game. For the second year in a row, Layden was able to do all of this with his older brother Landon. Now let's hear his thoughts on the championship win.
We just have to come out, take every quarter like it's a new game, and just win the quarter. And that's what we did. And our coaches would always hype us up. In the locker room, our coaches told us to keep our heads up, and that's exactly what we did. It was great representing Kohala and our town, our small town and community. Going back to back is really a blessing, and we wouldn't be able to do this without my teammates and my coaches and all our fans. And I'd like to give a special shout out to my dad and everything he's done for me and this team and NSP, and also a club team named Shuddi that we've been playing with our whole lives. So I'd just like to give a special shout out to them.
The 2022 Boys Basketball Gatorade Player of the Year, Pupu Sepulona, dominated the post and scored a game-high 25 points, sending the Crusaders back to the state championship game for the third year in a row. The Kalaheo Mustangs came into this game with some momentum after beating the strong Mililani Trojans and the number 4 seeded Baldwin. The Mustangs' CJ Bostick and Peyton Smith led the team with 12 points and 9 points respectively. Smith earned all 9 of his points by way of his 3-point shots. However, St. Louis's defense limited the Mustangs to just 40 points, their lowest scoring game since December 13th. St. Louis was victorious 58-40. The Crusaders had some great support from their student section, and we know they'll be loud and proud at the championship game.
In the second D1 game of the night, the Leilehua Mules sought to make their first state championship appearance since 1983 and have made it this far, riding the backs of Wilson brothers, Twain, and Tyree. The home team, Punahou Buff and Blue, got out to a strong start behind Andre Upresa Thomas, who scored a team-high 17 points. Punahou held an 8-point lead after the first quarter of play and never relinquished the lead despite the strong performance from the Wilsons. They win 67-49. Punahou advances to the state championship game for the first time since 2019, where they'll face the Crusaders for the 4th time this season.
In the grand finale of them all, 2 ILH powerhouses, Punahou and St. Louis, fight for state basketball supremacy. On the line for Punahou is their first state championship since 2018 and 12th state title in program history. For St. Louis, a win would give them their 3rd straight state title and 9th in school history. The back-to-back state champs got out to a hot start in the first quarter, scoring the game's first 12 points and winning the first quarter 15-6. In the second, it was more of the same for the Crusaders as Kaylin Fernando and Stone Kanoa would help push the St. Louis lead to 27-16 by the break. To begin the second half, Punahou started to get things going with a bucket from James Taurus and Noah Makapule, which cut the Crusaders' lead to 7. However, St. Louis's lead would stay at 7 at the end of 3 quarters of play, 33-26. In the fourth quarter, Punahou kept the fight, but Pupu proved why he is regarded as one of the top players in all of the state, with an and one bucket to all but seal the victory for St. Louis. And as the clock struck 000, St. Louis got their coveted 3-peats. The final score 48-39. Now let's pass it over to Jayden for our interview.
Pupu finished the game with a team-high 11 points and credits his teammates for their hard work throughout the year, which culminated to this win. Let's go to our post-game interview with him now.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling so, speechless. Like this win was so important to our team. I feel like this was a team win. I give all the credit to my brothers. I feel like we work together on the offensive and defensive side, and our chemistry is like, you haven't seen it before. And I feel like, we shown the whole state and we put the whole state on notice. And like right now, I feel so great because my whole team had a role and they did their part today, and that's how we got the win. Man, it comes with like tons of work. For me and my brothers, we all work so hard in the early mornings and late nights, and I feel like that really led to not 1, not 2, but 3 state championships. And it's just hard work, and it has shown on the court our results. And what we put in the dark will come to light, and it's just all hard work, most importantly. Yeah.
Even those dance moves from Pupu remind us of last year. Hey Bobby, do you have any cool dance moves? Nice! Also, while we didn't get a chance to do a show for the HHSAA Wrestling State Tournament, we want to congratulate the Moanalua Girls Wrestling Team and the Kamehameha Kapalamas Boys Wrestling Team on winning state championships.
And a special congratulations goes out to Lanai's first ever state champion in any sport, Diesel Del Rosario. Diesel competed and won boys 120-pound division against the defending state champ from Kamehameha.
Next up in the world of Hawaii high school sports, we're looking forward to baseball, softball, boys volleyball, and more.
This is the Road to the Ship presented by Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union. Mahalo to Hawaiian Financial Federal Credit Union, IBEW Local 1186, Hawaii Pacific Health, and Young Brothers for sponsoring our humble show. I'm Bobby Best.
And I'm Mia Ha-Rozewski. You've been watching The Road to the Ship. I hope you fall.
No.